Hey, it's Dad. Um, so I know you don't follow this channel, and that's cool. Um, but this channel is a channel for just positivity. We've created like this family and this community here that is it's all about love. There's no hate. So for me to share this, just kind of bummed me out because I'm trying to bring light to a situation that looks horrible. But in the back of my mind, it still was kind of throwing me off. And you ask if I've been through a situation like this before. Yes, I have. My first wife, who I have two daughters with, my oldest being 32 and her sister being 25, same mom. I fought for 4 years in court to get custody of my daughters. Why would I do that? Well, I did it because my wife was an alcoholic and she had men running in and out of the house. That's fine. All I had asked is when the girls were with her, because we had joint legal, but she had physical, and I was trying to gain physical custody, all I asked was when the girls were with her, that she just not display those behaviors. And why would I ask that? Why would I ask the court this? I asked the court this because I didn't want my girls growing up thinking that that was normal. You become a product of your environment and you see what's going on in your environment, and usually that's how you think that's just a normal situation, right? So I didn't want my girls to grow up thinking that that was normal, to have men running in and out of the house, to be drinking all the time. I wanted my daughters to be strong, independent women. They could take care of themselves. They don't need a man. They don't need a man in their life. They don't need anybody. They can be self-sufficient. That's what I want from my girls. So it took me 4 years. Why did it take me 4 years? Because I'm a man, and the court systems are biased. So me sharing this and then going back against it has absolutely nothing to do with gender. It has absolutely nothing to do with my court case. I won my court case. It took me 4 years, but I gained physical custody of my daughters. And then she was the weekend mom. And then when she was hit with child support, she would work for a little while. She wouldn't pay me. So I'd have her wages garnished and she'd quit the job. She did it 2 or 3 times. So the whole thing, it may seem like I'm bitter, but my girls are adults. I'm way past this. When I first saw this video, I genuinely was worried that this little girl was in the care of a man who was violent or had a violent history, because this is what I'm seeing, just one side. I'm only seeing one side of the story. By the way, my ex-wife, to just harass me, would call CPS, Child Protective Services, numerous times. And every time it was unfounded. And I finally asked the police and the CPS agent that would come and investigate, how often, at what point do we get to this as harassment? Well, we just have to keep checking because we have to make sure. And it's like, I understand that, but here I am, a law-abiding citizen. I have absolutely no record. I'm a hardworking person. But because she feels that I wronged her by trying to protect my children, she's harassing me nonstop. So, regardless of that, though, that's not what I saw this for. I deleted my video from yesterday, yes. But if anybody saw my video from yesterday, they would know that I went in with it wholeheartedly on her side. Your daughter's there. This is BS. She's in the custody of a man who has a violent, streak, because you have a protective order against you, or for you, against him. I was all for you. But then after me putting this information out and sharing it with my almost 14,000 family members on here, I find out that this is possibly a scam and that there's a history and we can see it and we can see the evidence of where it's happened before. That's where we're at now. And I don't normally get involved with this stuff. It's just that I was like, oh my God, this poor woman and her daughter, what is going on? This is outrageous. So I share it. But then what happens? Now I look like a big dummy because I shared false information with all my family members. That's it. I still hope that it's not a scam. I still try to be optimistic that this is not a scam and that she genuinely needs help for court costs, because she's going to keep doing, she's going to keep going. But let me tell you something. You don't need $10,000 for court cost. I was in the state of California at this time. My ex was in the state of Arizona. So it was hard already, but I filed in California, so she had to come to California. Now, California has some of the strictest rules against all this. When it comes to children, they're very, very strict. When it comes to custody of children, they're super strict. That's why it took me 4 years. When I finally gained custody, that judge, who didn't have to do this, in his own courtroom, that's his house, said, Mr. and my last name, for the 4 years that I've been sitting on this case, I thought you were exaggerating the point. I know now I was wrong and that you weren't, and I apologize for that. He apologized. The judge apologized to me because I was put through so much agony, so much misery, so much worry about my daughters. Is my ex-wife going to get drunk and run the kids off the road with her? What is going to happen? Is there going to be a man that she invites into her home thinking this is going to be the next guy that's going to take care of her, and that man molest my daughters? These are things going through my head. These are things I had to worry about. Anyways, I'm getting off point. Point is I shared yesterday because I genuinely believe that she looked very traumatized. And then all this evidence today comes to light, and it makes sense. So I'm just saying to my family members that follow me here on this page, this community, this loving community of people that love to support people, investigate it, check it out a little bit further. I'm not going to give my money. I recommend that you don't. I pray that everything works out fine, but I'm sorry for putting out information that is possibly misinformation. That's all this was. I wasn't siding with anybody. Yes, I've been through it. I don't know what else to tell you. Thankfully, my older daughters are pretty much unscathed by the trauma that they dealt with their mom's alcoholism. And by the way, my first wife has been clean and sober. She got her shit together, and I'm actually really proud of her for doing so. I wish it had happened sooner, and I wish we didn't go through all this court stuff, and it was just a lot. But I don't have any animosity towards her. You understand what I'm saying? She had a problem, and with alcoholism, that's it. She wasn't getting help. She finally did. She's clean now. She's sober now, and I respect that. Anyways, that's it. That's my 5 cents. If you're still watching at this point, I love you. Oh, and I did forget one thing. So yes, here's the thing. If the police or CPS come to your house, and they're going to do that. They're going to come, they're going to investigate, right? If they feel that child is in danger, and usually they can see the history from the man or woman, but if they feel that child's in danger, they have all right and authority no matter what state, because at that point it's the officer's discretion to pull that child from that home. Doesn't mean more paperwork and all this nonsense. Yes. But any person, if they were to go in there and see, oh my God, this child's unsafe, I don't even care if it's a crooked cop. They're going to pull that kid out of there and make sure they're okay. They cannot get involved as far as making other determinations because it is court and they have to wait. But if that child was genuinely in danger, they would have pulled that child out. And I'm sure CPS would have been investigating by now as well. Those are proper channels. Oh, and what I was saying about court costs, I did everything the first time through a paralegal. The rest of the time I did it myself. It was a few $100s. I mean, for 4 years, I probably spent less than $1,000 for court costs. I did it all myself. Sure, I didn't hire a lawyer. And I won. It took 4 years, but the case was won. Anyways, I love you guys.